The bottom line is, for the next 16 months, nothing's going to change because, you know, as Republicans, we can vote as many times as we want to try and repeal the law, and it's obviously this is the president's signature piece of legislation. He's going to veto it and veto any sort of revisions to it, and we're not going to be in a position to override the veto. We know that. We know that even some Democrats that don't favor Obamacare, we don't have enough under the legislative process to get to 2/3 to override that. In between, on sort of a parallel track, what many in this country and many Republicans in this country have tried to do is present those issues for the Supreme Court to address the constitutionality. Well, not just once, but now twice, and most recently in June, the Supreme Court has pretty much made it clear that they're not going to strike down Obamacare from a constitutional standpoint. And so, you know, the next best opportunity for folks like me that are opposed to it to get rid of it is to have a president who will work with a Republican Congress that wants to replace it with something that works better. In the meantime, though, there are bills that come up with respect to aspects of Obamacare, like the Cadillac tax or medical device tax, which I'm a co-sponsor on that bill, that we're still trying to move forward. And so you say, well, why are you trying to move forward that legislation when you just said that the president's going to veto it even if it makes it to his desk? Part of the reason is it's important to put markers out there to show what, you know, Congress is a reflection of the entire country. So if you represent your constituency well, part of what we want to demonstrate is across the country, people want fixes to this law. Even if the president isn't going to allow them and is going to veto them and we can't override it by a supermajority by 2/3, we can put a marker out there to show the majority of people in this country want this change, want this, you know, provision to go away, and therefore, hopefully, in 2016, with a president that isn't really as invested in this, might be open, and so when we pick up new legislation at that point, we revisit it, we're in a better position to argue why those changes should take place. So you'll see some of that legislation move forward that would be sort of tweaks and fixes to Obamacare, even though they're not going to take effect in the next 16 months.